Well, hi, I'm back after 3.5 years. I actually just remembered that I had made that talk journal page on my YouTube channel, and I just watched the video that I posted as my introduction to this channel and cracked myself up because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm still thinking some of those same things. So I had, talked about my frustration being in the job that I was in and, wanting to follow my bliss and all those things. Well, a few changes have happened since then. I was recording that video in Clarksville, Tennessee, and we were able to move back to Maine. It was probably only like 7 months after. I recorded that video in April of 2019, and we moved back. We left Tennessee in June of 2020, so I guess it was a little over a year. Jeepers. So in between that time, like soon after that video was made, we were starting to plan to move back, and then the whole world went through a change in early 2020. So we were delayed in moving at that time because of that. And then we made the ultimate decision to move back to Maine when my son bought a house and said, I have plenty of room, you guys can come home. So I was more than happy to come back because life is better in Maine. According to me, because I was raised here. We did have fun in Tennessee, but I'm glad to be back. Okay, so my frustration continues with the whole follow your bliss, do this, do that. I have still been listening to the YouTube channels and the podcasts and all those things. I have taken some classes, most notably in like Reiki and healing crystals and things like that, because that's something that I am really passionate about. I didn't talk about it on the last video. I talked more about my more traditional passions like horses and reading and learning and things like that, which still are, passions of mine, of course. So I moved back to Maine and I got a job. Well, let me back up. Right after that video, I got a job. I got out of the medical billing field finally and got a job as a team coordinator, scheduling for a company that does wind, fire, and water restoration. And that was very fast-paced and not, I don't want to say exciting, because people have lost things in their homes and whatnot, but it was different. It had different kinds of stressors, but I was no longer having to call people on the phone to collect money they didn't have. So that was better for my spirit and my well-being. So then moved back to Maine, got the same type of job. I was scheduling for a company who improves basements, and I was there for quite a while. And then now I'm scheduling for a different type of company. And my husband and I have recently decided that we would open up our own handyman business. So that's kind of part-time while we're both working full-time. So now it's like, okay, so we figured out how we might be able to work for ourselves, get a better schedule, have me not working 40 hours a week so that I can do things like grow a garden and cook more healthy food and, things like that. But health insurance is one of those things that kind of holds you back from being able to just finally, let go of that job that has those benefits. So we're struggling a little bit with trying to jump off. It took me 8 months to get everything set up, meaning the bank account, the credit card, the Square app, the business cards, the the Instagram and Facebook pages and all of that, and insurance, and so we finally got it set up. So anyway, that's part-time. So we're kind of like baby stepping into the getting out of the rat race type thing. And hopefully this will work. But I I also started writing a book again when I moved back here. I tried to start it again in a notebook writing because, as I said in my last video, the introduction video, I'm a terrible typist. And I don't think any number of times of putting that into my vortex is going to make me a better typist. So, but then the same things would happen. I would get emotional, or I couldn't figure out what the next chapter was. I don't know. It just seems like, talking is easier for me. Maybe I should just make an audiobook with me just talking into the microphone. So anyway, I'm still just trying to find that place of complete comfort and satisfaction. I know that I am a nurturer and a helper by nature. So that is why I'm looking into the things like the healing modalities, like hypnosis and Reiki and, herbal medicines and crystals. So that's kind of a little update on that. I had to also crack up when I listened to my last introduction talking about, okay, I have 2 degrees, I've put out 73 applications, and I don't, similar things have happened. When I was trying to leave the job previous to this one, just probably 40 applications sent out, and I think I had 3 interviews out of those 40. And the job I have now, I'm very good at. And for those of you out there who have A-type personalities, who get a job and then you work really hard to know everything about what you're doing, and then your coworkers seem to hate you. It's like, I'm not doing this to show you up. I'm doing this because this is me. This is my personality. I like to know everything. I like to learn. I like to learn everything I can about a job. I like to master it, so to speak. So sometimes your bosses don't like you because you figure things out that they've been trying to figure out and haven't been able to figure out. So that's a challenge for a person such as myself, who has an A-type personality, who is, I'm a Sagittarius, that kind of plays into it, and my whole birth chart, because I've read it and studied it. And it's like I'm reading it and I'm going, wow, okay, now I know why I do this and why I do that. So if you haven't looked at your birth chart, whether you believe in all that stuff or not, it's pretty amazing. And I think the free birth chart is on astroclick.com. Hopefully I'm allowed to say that. But anyway, so that's been really eye-opening. So I am really going to try and do this, and I'm going to try to have some topics that I think are helpful to anyone. I said in my last video, I have these wisdom lines and I have this extra stuff here, and I still have all that. But what I have to share with anyone who wants to listen is the wisdom and the emotional intelligence of what I have been through in my years on this earth, through things that I have been through with my childhood and with partners that I've had, with abusive people and with extremely helpful people. So I would like to, as a helper and a talker, I'm hoping that my videos will eventually reach someone and will help. If I had any followers, I would say, what would you like me to talk about? I can talk about having a difficult relationship with your mother. I can talk about having an abusive partner or husband and how you can get out of that, or how I did. I can talk obviously about challenges in the workforce. I can talk about how you are able to stand in your own power by believing in yourself, and how I um, robbed myself of certain successes in life because I was holding on to, childhood traumas, teenage traumas, and things like that. I've used books and various, gurus, if you will, to help me understand that. But I also did have a year of counseling in order to find out, why I was attracting those types of partners. And when you see that light and you understand it, it is so freeing. When you, it's like having a key to a padlock that you've been staring at for years and years and years, and you just couldn't unlock it. And then when I happened to just find the right therapist for me. And she asked me one question that brought a lot of it to light. And that was, when you were a child, who do you remember telling you that they loved you? And I couldn't come up with one. And then I just broke down. And then that was where we were able to, go delve into that deeper and kind of figure out how I got so insecure and had such low self-esteem that I got myself into predicaments that were not good or healthy for me. So, those are some of the things that I think I, can offer an ear. I mean, obviously, I'm not a licensed therapist, so I'm just talking about this stuff from my own perspective. If you need a licensed therapist, that you should see one. I'm not one. I'm just an ear. I'm just a person who cares about humanity and people. And I understand that it's hard to ask for help sometimes. So I just want to be here I hope that I can make some people laugh because of the things that I've been through. And, that's kind of what my goal is. Just be here, be an ear, say some things, bring some people, bring their day up, make them smile. That's what I'm really hoping to do. So things have improved for me since the last upload, because I'm back in my home state and I love it here. It's been very emotionally healthy for me to be here. And recently, about 6 months ago, on December 21st, I turned 60 years old. And that is what has really prompted me to say, do I want to keep working 40 hours a week for someone else? Is there something else I can do? Can I get a plan together finally? Oh, and I still haven't won Megabucks, but I still play twice a week. So, I mean, I've won here and there, $2, $4, a free ticket. Still waiting for that windfall. But maybe I can make it happen for myself through, our new business, or through doing something on my own that can help other people. I think one thing I will say is that your intention matters. In my opinion and in my experience, if you're doing something just because you think you can get rich doing it, it won't last. But if you do something because you think that you have a great idea that can help other people, help humanity, help the world, help, whatever, it will be successful. Because your intention behind it is love, basically, and that is the key, love and forgiveness. I have been able to forgive my mother for our relationship. I have been able to forgive my abusers for their part in, my life. And the one thing, well, one of the things that I realized through that is I would not be the person that I am right now in my heart, in my soul, in my mind if I hadn't gone through those tough things. And I went through those tough things and I learned some things and went through those tough situations, and hopefully I can help someone else. So I guess even though in the last one I said, oh, I never click on anything that's, like 10 minutes long, everything that I read about YouTube videos says don't make it too long because people won't click on it. So it was the opposite of what I was saying, which is like I like to just pick a long one. So I guess I'll leave this here and put it up and put some hashtags in, I guess, and hope that I get some followers and hope that I get some suggestions on what, what you'd like me to talk about. Yeah, yeah, I guess that's it. Life is what you make it. You can make it good. You can dwell on all the good things, and you can be grateful for everything that you have, or you can be angry at the things you don't. I would suggest that you be grateful for everything you have. Don't ever say it can't be worse, because believe me, it can. So let's make some bliss, everybody. Have a great day, night, morning, sunset, sunrise, whenever you're watching this. Bye for now.